You check your bank account, not because you're excited about what you're going to see, more out of habit, out of hope that somehow, this time, it looks different, that the number has finally started moving in the right direction. It hasn't. And the confusing part isn't that you're struggling. The confusing part is that you're doing everything right. You're not blowing money on things you can't afford. You're not living recklessly. You go to work, you pay your bills, you tell yourself every month that this is the month things are going to shift. But the account sits there, flat, almost mocking you. And you've started to wonder, is this just how it is for people like me? Is there something fundamentally broken about my situation? Or is there something I'm missing that everyone else somehow figured out? There is something you're missing, and it's not your fault nobody told you. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and your bank account will never look the same again. Here's what's actually happening. Most people treat their bank account like a waiting room. Money comes in, bills go out. Whatever's left sits there, and they call that saving. They think the goal is to just not spend everything, to leave something behind at the end of the month. And if there's something left, they feel responsible. But here's the truth nobody teaches you. A bank account that just sits there isn't saving. It's slowly losing. Inflation is running. Every single day that your money sits in a standard checking or low-yield savings account doing nothing, it is worth slightly less than it was the day before. You're not standing still. You're moving backwards, just slowly enough that you can't feel it happening. That's problem one. Problem two is something called the spending floor. Every month, your expenses have a minimum. Rent, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, subscriptions. These things don't negotiate, they just take. And most people have let that floor rise so gradually over the years that they don't even realize how high it's gotten. You didn't decide to spend more, life just got more expensive. And your income, even if it grew, never quite outpaced it. So the money comes in, the floor takes its cut, and whatever's left isn't enough to actually build anything with. You're surviving perfectly, but you're not building anything. That's the trap. And most people spend their entire working lives inside it without ever realizing there's a way out. Here's what makes this so frustrating. You've probably already tried to fix it. You told yourself to spend less. You downloaded a budgeting app. Maybe you cut out the coffee or the takeout for a few weeks. You tried to be more mindful, more intentional, more disciplined, and it worked for a little while. Then life happened. A car repair, a medical bill, a birthday, a bad week where you just needed to not think about money for 5 minutes. And suddenly you're back where you started, feeling worse because now you failed at fixing it too. This is the part nobody talks about. Willpower is not a financial strategy. Telling yourself to spend less is like telling yourself to hold your breath. You can do it for a while, but eventually your body takes over, and you gasp. The problem was never discipline. The problem is the system, or more accurately, the fact that you don't have one. People whose bank accounts grow aren't more disciplined than you. They're not smarter. They don't have some secret information that you lack. What they have is a structure that makes the right financial behavior automatic, so it doesn't depend on willpower at all. And that is the entire difference. So what does that structure actually look like? It starts with one mindset shift that changes everything. Stop thinking of your bank account as the place where your money lives. Start thinking of it as the place where your money passes through. Your paycheck arrives. Before anything else happens, before a single bill is paid, before you buy groceries, before you do anything, a predetermined amount leaves automatically and goes somewhere that is working for you. An investment account, a high-yield savings account, a retirement fund, somewhere that money grows. Then everything else happens with what remains. This is called paying yourself first, and it sounds simple because it is. But the reason most people never do it is because they have the order backwards. They pay everything else first, bills, expenses, lifestyle, and then save whatever's left, which is usually nothing. When you flip the order, everything changes. You stop trying to save what's left. You start living on what's left after saving, and your brain adjusts to that new normal faster than you think. The account that just sat there starts moving, slowly at first, then faster, then in ways that genuinely surprise you. Step 1. Know your real number. Not your salary, not your take-home pay, your actual monthly surplus. What's genuinely left after your fixed, non-negotiable expenses. Most people have never calculated this honestly. Sit down this week and do it. Write it down. That number is your starting point. Step 2. Automate before you touch it. Take a minimum of 20% of your surplus and set up an automatic transfer the day your paycheck arrives. Not a transfer you do manually, automatic. It leaves before you see it, before you feel it, before your brain even registers it as available money. If 20% feels impossible right now, start with 10%. Start with 5%. The amount matters less than the habit. Build the habit first. Step 3. Make your money work while it sits. If you have money sitting in a standard savings account earning next to nothing, move it. A high-yield savings account right now can earn significantly more than a traditional bank account. This is not investing. This is not risky. It is simply making sure your money isn't quietly losing value while it waits. This one change alone can make a visible difference within months. Step 4. Create one investment account and fund it monthly. Even small amounts, even $50 a month. The goal right now is not the amount. The goal is the habit and the compounding that starts the moment you begin. Money invested consistently over time does something that money sitting in a bank account never can. It multiplies. Not because of luck, because of math. And the math works for anyone who starts. Step 5. Review once a month. Just once. Not every day. Not every time you feel anxious. Once a month, sit down and look at the full picture. What came in? What went out? What grew? What didn't? Make one small adjustment if needed. Then close the app and live your life. Obsessing over money daily creates anxiety without results. A monthly review creates clarity and progress. Here's what I want you to understand about all of this. The bank account that isn't growing isn't a reflection of your worth. It's not evidence that you're bad with money or that financial security isn't meant for you. It's evidence that you were handed a broken set of instructions and told to figure it out. Nobody sat you down and explained how money actually moves. Nobody taught you the difference between an account that holds money and an account that grows it. Nobody told you that discipline alone was never going to be enough, that you needed a system, not just better intentions. That's not a personal failure. That's a gap in what most people were ever taught. But here's what changes today. You now know what the problem actually is: not spending too much, not earning too little, a system that was working against you instead of for you. And a broken system can be replaced, starting right now, starting this week, starting with one automatic transfer that your future self will look back on as the moment everything shifted. The people who build real wealth aren't exceptional. They're not lucky. They're not operating on information that's hidden from you. They just built the right structure early enough that time and compounding did the heavy lifting for them. You can build that same structure today with whatever you have right now. Your bank account isn't growing because nobody showed you how to make it grow. Now you know. The next step isn't complicated. It isn't overwhelming. It's one decision, one automatic transfer, one account that starts working for you instead of just holding your money until life takes it. Do that this week, not next week, not when things feel more stable, not when you have more to work with, this week. Because the gap between knowing this and doing nothing with it, that gap is exactly where financial stagnation lives. And you've been living there long enough. The account can grow. It will grow, but only if you give it somewhere to go. Start today. Anna Investment is here every step of the way.